one night. Got you that.
Jake Paul has evidently overstepped his boundaries in the boxing community, and nobody is taking it lightly as Jake may have thought people would. Floyd Mayweather has entered the conversation, just as other folks have rejected Jake's disrespectful behavior towards Mike Tyson. Floyd wasn't having it as he claimed Jake Paul was really going past his limits, and he would get checked if he kept disrespecting Mike Tyson, all in the name of trash-talking for the fight. Jake Paul has mastered the art of pissing his opponents off. Jake sees it as a way of getting under their skin to make his opponents lose their cool. But Mike's fans and his former opponents are telling Jake all of his gimmicks wouldn't work on Mike. Instead, it would make Mike more angered. And that is the type of Mike Jake definitely doesn't want to mess with.
You think that Mike Tyson, I think, well, how old, 58? You think that Mike Tyson couldn't beat Tommy Fury's ass right now? You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. And so...
Anyway, Floyd's message to Jake was simple and clear. After Jake had been having a good laugh with his frequent trash talks towards Mike, he was served an ugly dish of backlash. Jake witnessed how insane Mike's fans could be, as they made Jake realize he was getting really disrespectful towards Mike, and that can't be accepted in the boxing community. Jake's first approach was to apologize for his disrespectful behavior, but interestingly, the backlash kept getting worse than Jake had imagined.
I do value Mike's health first and foremost. Love that guy, I have so much respect for him, and I want Mike to be healthy. And he says he still is gonna knock me out, and I bought myself some time. So Mike is still talking shit over there.
Soon enough, word got out that Jake was trying to pull out of the fight, claiming he wasn't interested in fighting Mike Tyson any longer. Oops. It seems like Jake got scared, because word on the street is that Jake got a reality check from the backlash he received from the internet and even prominent fighters. Folks went on about how Mike Tyson would beat Jake Paul hands down in the ring regardless of their age difference. Y'all know how Jake has been counting on how he's a 27-year-old man, and Mike is a 57, soon-to-be 58-year-old man? Oh yeah. Folks are saying Jake's upper hand in his head will be completely useless in the ring because Mike Tyson will still give him a good beating. So Jake hearing all of these things made him realize being in the ring facing Mike Tyson may be one of his biggest regrets in life. Guess what? Jake's next line of action was to pull out of the fight before things got crazy, and too late for Jake to turn back the hands of time. This was when Floyd Mayweather felt it was best to drop his 2 cents on the situation. Initially, Floyd had a good laugh about the fact that Jake was willing to opt out of the match, saying Jake must have been really overwhelmed that he was planning to fight a legend like Mike Tyson. Afterwards, Floyd decided to also talk about the disrespect Jake had shown to Mike. The disrespect didn't sit well with Floyd also because he felt the boxing community had a way of doing things. They respected their seniors in the sport. Mike Tyson is one of the major reasons boxing has become a big deal. He's one of the legends who put the sport on the map due to his incredible talent and skill set he input in the sport, and many folks turned boxing fans because of Mike Tyson. So basically, Mike Tyson paved the way for many fighters to want to do better in the ring. So no one, not even Floyd Mayweather, also a world-class champion, accepted Jake's disrespect. Floyd set things straight with Jake that he went too far. But still, in the same light, he dropped a word of advice and caution for Jake. In Floyd's words, he called Jake a kid and told him he knows he wants to prove himself, but he definitely isn't ready to go into the ring with an opponent like Mike Tyson. Oh well, according to people online and other legends in the sport, Floyd was spitting facts. Jake may have been able to be a successful YouTuber who integrated himself into boxing and has been able to make waves a little bit in the sport, but the truth is that Mike Tyson is way ahead of anyone Jake has thrown punches at. Mike Tyson is way up there, while Jake Paul is still a bottom feeder in the sport. So it's just right that he shouldn't have put himself in a mix with Mike. Anyway, things are starting to get real, and Jake can see it may be tougher than he had anticipated.
Listen, I started Jake off and I'm gonna finish him.
Yeah, come on, Jake Paul. Jake Paul. Jake Paul. Jake Paul. Jake Paul. I like that shit. Yeah. Hey, I hope y'all keep that same energy when I knock this old man the fuck out.
Jake's disrespectful remarks didn't even make Mike flinch. It's like Jake fueled Mike's determination for the match. Mike also didn't take his disrespectful remarks lightly. Mike is going into complete savage mode as he's resuming his infamous raw meat diet. That's bad news for Jake Paul. Mike Tyson knows how to be in the right state of mind and shape to defeat his opponents, and the raw meat diet happens to be one of them. You're wondering how? We will get back to that in a second. Anyway, Floyd wasn't the only famous fighter who had something to say about the anticipated fight. Former fighter Lennox Lewis is one of the people really concerned about the fight. Lewis knows how the world of boxing can be. He's been a full-fledged participant in the sport before, so he knows how it works. Lewis is really concerned for Jake's safety due to his experience in the ring. Lewis isn't just a bystander who is watching out for Jake. Lewis has fought with really powerful and skillful fighters like Evander Holyfield and even Mike Tyson, so he definitely knows better. And that's the reason he's looking out for Jake's safety in the ring. Chad Dawson, an American former professional boxer, is scared for Jake. Chad is saying Jake shouldn't rely on Mike's older age and think he can easily defeat him. Chad believes Mike's punching power will still be as efficient as ever, so Jake is in for the toughest fight of his life.
Bro, he's in savage mode right now. He's in savage mode. If I was Jake Paul right now, I would be shitting my pants.
Hearing all of these isn't as scary as Joe Rogan's comments. Joe Rogan, popular UFC commentator and podcaster, has to be Jake's biggest nightmare. Joe Rogan is solidly on the front that Jake is not even close to winning the fight. Joe has consistently discussed how Mike Tyson is a beast in the sport, and he'd eat Jake raw like he's been doing with raw meat.
I just eat raw meat. He goes, "You're eating raw meat?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm eating raw meat." He goes, "Because that's what I'm going to eat when I fight. I'm going to eat him."
Everyone has a thing or two to say about the fight. Michael Bisping, a British former professional mixed martial artist and current sports analyst, doesn't really care about anything that happens to Jake Paul, as he knew what he was doing before aiming to fight with heavyweight champion Mike Tyson. However, Michael is not in sync with Jake's disrespectful tactics to have a head start in the match. Michael thinks it's a huge embarrassment to the sport, and Jake's behavior will only tarnish the sport's credibility. Even Jake knows he's in the wrong, as he's been getting more hate than love from fans. Even at press conferences, Jake already knows what the audience would chant in his ears. That may have been saddening for Jake, but man knows he's done worse. Jake's mouth has no filter when he hits Mike with several insults, all in the name of trash talking in anticipation of the match. Interestingly, Mike is a man of action rather than talking, so Mike is more interested in putting more effort into his strength than having a series of video rants like Jake. So, circling back to the raw meat diet thing that Mike has going on, according to Mike, doing the raw meat diet is his way of returning to primal instincts, which enables him to tap into raw instincts to have a good game. It's ridiculous for anyone to want to consume raw meat, but it's Mike's ritual to tap into an unimaginable raw human instinct to sense his opponent coming faster, strategically calculate his moves, and throw his destabilizing punches. Is Jake even ready for this? The battle line has been drawn, and it's clearly not about who is younger who wins the match anymore. It's now more like a match of who is stronger and more strategic. To put it the easy way, Jake doesn't belong to any of these parts. He's just good at trash-talking his opponents to get under their skin. But what Jake doesn't know is that Mike Tyson is a mastermind at things like that. Mike may not be a fan of getting under his opponent's skin, but he is a pro when it comes to intimidating them. Most times, Mike doesn't even have to do too much. His face and body structure do a pretty good job at that before he even opens his mouth to talk. It seems like that is what Jake Paul is currently going through. Coupled with how Mike is not bothered about all of his antics, Jake is finally getting a reality check, and he feels his best bet is to opt out of the match. However, it's not as easy as licking ice cream. This is a match that many sponsors have been involved in. Organizers have made detailed plans, conferences, and all, and even his opponent is ready to go. So, how will anyone be fine with Jake pulling out of the anticipated fight? It seems like an impossibility. Who will bear the losses? Because it is highly doubtful that Jake has made enough money from his YouTube and boxing career to cater for the losses that will come from his supposed decision. It gets worse knowing Mike Tyson has plans of suing Jake for $400 million if he goes through with his option of pulling out of the fight. Does Jake Paul have $400 million? That's a jaw-dropping amount of money. Jake may have to rethink his decision and go through with the fight. Folks claim Jake knew he was biting more than he could chew when he decided to go head-to-head with the legendary Mike Tyson. Mike also knew Jake wasn't as fierce as he claims. Mike has repeatedly clowned Jake for getting knocked out by Nick Diaz and Henderson Silva. Truth be told, if Jake can't handle fighters like Nick Diaz, what makes him think he'd be able to knock Mike out? The ratio is ridiculous, and everyone knows that. Right now, it seems Jake is riding on luck as he can't pull out of the fight, and he already knows Mike is a bigger fish than any other fighter he has been matched with in the ring. Jake can't go on with his trash talks. He already knows it is not helping, and he's only getting negative reactions from it. His only option is to go through with what he has been planning for months. No one knows who will win the match yet, but folks believe Mike Tyson will beat Jake hands down. Maybe luck will shine on Jake, or maybe not. We will just have to wait and see how it goes. So, do you think Jake went too far with the disrespectful thing about the fight between him and Mike Tyson? Or do you think it's all part of the game, and people shouldn't have reacted the way they did? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on boxing news updates.